my good friend Julie Cairns today said something about a motivation technique that just struck a chord with me. And it reminded me of something. I one time was hiring a bunch of speakers to speak to audiences. And one day I had hired this woman to come and speak to us. And I was talking to one of her previous clients who said, let me give you a little hint. She loves chocolates in her hotel room when she arrives. And so, hey, I can take a hint. So we bought a, $25 thing of chocolates, $30 thing of chocolates, took it to the hotel and said, can you please have this sitting in her room when she arrives with a little note from us saying, hey, we're so looking forward to hearing from you tomorrow. And sure enough, when she came in, she was on. All for a $25 box of chocolate. So the technique that Julie shared with us today was this. Ask people, how would you like to be acknowledged for doing this task or working these extra hours or doing whatever it is that you're asking them to do? And it's really interesting. Now, I'm just telling you what Julie said, okay? I haven't tried this yet, but I think it's brilliant. And she said, sometimes people will say things like, hey, after that big push, I want 2 days off. Or, hey, I want a spa treatment. And, sometimes they'll even ask you for a little extra money. But when you do this, what enables you to do is you start to learn things about this person. You start to learn. So first off, it can be incredibly motivational because they know that at the other end of this hard push that they're going to do, that they've got that spa treatment or that little extra money or the mention in the next meeting or whatever it is that they've specifically asked for. And you've got the side benefit that you start to know what is important to them. And it sort of goes back to this concept of the love languages book. That one that says, hey, some people like gifts, some people like words of appreciation, some people, all those different things. And that's such an important thing to recognize in your home and in your family and your love relationships. It's also important to recognize what motivates the people you work with. And the better you can get at recognizing that, the better you can get at being able to motivate them. I can speak English, to motivate them in times where it will take a little extra to get amazing performance out of them. So you start to learn, especially when you've done this several times, you start to learn what is seen by them as valuable. So it may be those kind words. It may be a gift. It may be whatever that is. But when you recognize this, that can help you in your further relationships with them. I'm going to try this, and I encourage you to try it too. And realize that this can work not only with employees and contractors and things like that. Hey, it also works outside of work too. It can work with kids, okay? You're going to clean this entire room, and how would you like to be acknowledged for that? And they may say, well, we want an ice cream sundae tonight, or, whatever it is, that starts to help you understand what's important and what motivates your kids. Now, you can't do this all every day. You can't always, they need to clean their room. You can't always teach them that there's always this acknowledgement, this reward for doing it. But when you use it circumspectly at the right times, it can create further motivation and further change. And by the way, this works for you too. I use this all the time where I say, okay, I've got this tough project that I know that I've been avoiding. I don't know about you, but sometimes when I have a tough project, I just avoid it until it's right up against the deadline. And oftentimes I find the way that helps me to get through that process is to promise myself a reward when it's done. It doesn't have to be spectacular. I get to go on a walk. I get to sit down and watch a Netflix thing. I get to whatever it is. But promising those kinds of things to myself can cause me personally to get things done. Can't imagine what it'll do for other people. Think about this. What's been your experience? Let me know in the chat. This is Don Crowther saying, just go do this stuff.